I'm out here at Kenzie's Kitchen in the big city, and I'm here to try to cook up some dye. Let's grab these buckets. I'm going to need to transfer some fluids. We got vinegar here. That's what I'm needing. Get a bucket of that. Yep, vinegar. Luckily, Ricky was just cooking here, so he left the fire burning for me. Now, I put the orange dye in and the vinegar. It should be boiling. Now, the recipe I saw said to only put 4 dye in. That's why I'm not using the full 5. I don't know if that'll mess things up or not, so I'm just following the recipe. And there we go. It boiled down in, and we've got some orange dye, liquid form. This is the only way to dye stuff like wool, so that's what I'm going to be doing here. All right, grab that in another bucket. Now I've got a bucket of orange dye, and I need a bucket to put it in. Well, first I'll put some more vinegar in there so we can get some more cooking in the meantime. And let's find a barrel. This is a good looking barrel. There we go. Get the orange dye in there. Perfect. All right, we got some more. There's our second bucket. These are 1,000 millibucket buckets. Need some more vinegar. Yep, we are cooking away. Get some dye in there. And it's already boiling. Very nice. There we go. That's not too bad. Some of these things we cook take a lot longer. Nothing too difficult. Although it is a lot of extra steps to make dye or just dye wool. Well, it's kind of fun. It's cool. It's more immersive this way, you know? And I'm going to keep cooking up some dye until I have what I think is enough, which I don't actually know how much it requires to dye the wool I have, but we're going to find out. Okay, I've got some dye. Now I need to get some wool, and that's kind of hard to come by unless you have a farm full of sheep, which we do out here. I figured I'm the only one on right now. They wouldn't mind if I just shear all these sheep. Surely they'll all be grown back by the time anybody gets back on. Yeah, give me your wool. Okay, I've got a good amount of wool here. It looks like you use the spindle with the wool to get string. Let's see, loom. We need wool cloth to make the blocks, and we use the yarn to make the wool cloth. All this is done at the loom, so let's head over to our little community loom we have over here. Much cooler loom than the vanilla loom, let me tell you. Wait till you see how this thing functions. First, we're going to need a spindle. And we craft the wool with the spindle. Let's get some wool yarn. All right, perfect. Okay, now you take the wool and you right-click it onto the loom like that. Pretty cool, huh? Take 16 yarn per weaving, and now we're going to weave it up. We're looming away. Pro loomers here. And you can see at the top there, it takes, I guess, 16 clicks to make a full wool cloth. So it's a slow process and very manual, but like everything else in this mod, very immersive. Alright, I've got my wool cloth. I gotta make a bunch of these so I can make them into wool blocks. So I'm gonna loom it up here and get all this done, and we'll be right back in a moment. Okay, I've got 16 wool blocks. Let's toss it in the barrel with the dye, close the lid, and you can see right up there at the top, time left 50 seconds. That's pretty short time period for having to wait for something to happen in a barrel, so I'm happy to see that. We've got 2,800 millibuckets of orange dye. I wonder how much this will use. All right, let's go ahead and put these buckets back for the next person. 3, 2, 1, and there we go. We have orange wool. Love to see it. First wool I've dyed. Looking good. All right, I'm going to take my wool. We're going to head down to the junkyard and build our first windmill. Okay, leaving town, and oh, look at that in the background. Right down there, if we zoom on in, we can see this is the junkyard base. The start of it, at least. And you can see a bit of the idea I'm going for like a wooden post, gate, fence, wall area around the area. Yep, I said area around the area. Anyway, let's head on down there and take a closer look at what it's looking like. And we're also going to get this Create Windmill going so that we can get some actual power out here, because I'm tired of not having Create out here. I need to start getting into Create. As expensive as it might be, and as far away as some of the requirements are, like certain steels and stuff like that, I just want to get it going. I got a wrench. As you can kind of see, each one is a 2x2 post. But every once in a while, I'm going to do a 5-block post. Like this one. You can see it's 1, 2, 3. It's like a diagonal 2x2. There we go. Looking at it from the top down, you can see exactly what I mean. Anyway, here we have Jenny number 2, regular Jack, and Jenny number 3, who is my go-to Jenny, because she's got the best looking chest. Yep. And, oh, also her stats are great. Check it out. That's like, I think, max stats for a donkey. 7.29 speed and 1.51 jump height. We've also got a bit of a junkyard pile started here. This is the crafting table pile. I'm going to keep throwing them in, just like other piles that will pop up throughout the season as I get the materials for them and stuff. But this is for any of the Zetas that happen to be needing materials like a crafting table. Come on down, pick one out, or pick a bunch out. Over here is the quick path to my area. It's not much of a path yet, but here we can see barrels of creosote. Yep, this is being made from a coke oven I made, which burns logs to make charcoal, making it very easy for us to get charcoal, and it produces creosote as an extra product. Come on up to the top here. This is a platform I've cleared off a little bit. This is going to be kind of home base around the junkyard. And if we look around, this is going to be sort of the main section around the junkyard. We've got the road here that goes around to the main town, to my gate, and then it'll follow around this way. And out there is our big copper mine, which is very nice. And then a little bit later, we're going to have another road stretch this way around to RickyCFT's place. Over here, this is the coke oven that we were talking about. We're just hitting iron stage as far as our smelting progress in the main city goes. And so I was able to make a hopper, which is big time and kind of expensive. But this special multi-block structure, like I said, cooks logs into charcoal and creosote. And then here's extra barrels I got for more. Oh, it's been raining in them. I left them all open. What have I done? Anyway, if we grab a bucket, we got this output slot there. We can see creosote, 9,250 millibuckets. Almost said megabytes. But anyway, if I bucket it, the bucket will hold 1,000. You can see there's 8,000 left. And I just go there because that one's got creosote. And then boom, 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 boom. But we've now filled up this bucket with max creosote. So I'm going to shift right click it, close it on up. I need another bucket, but they all have water in it. So I'm just going to pick one up, replace it since it didn't have... Oh, are you kidding me? That's just cruel. Okay, plan 2. I'm going to pick it up. All right, and I'm going to take it. It is empty, and I'm going to shift click. Yeah. Just put all the creosote that was left in there into the barrel. And if we take a look, there we go. Let's go ahead and open it up because now water can't get in there because, you know, the tiniest bit of something in a barrel repels anything else from the barrel. And it's raining, nighttime. Doesn't look great. Let's go ahead and go to sleep. Oh, I still got a bucket on me. Let's toss that in there. Let's put the bucket down there. And let's go ahead and get this going. This chest right here has got the material I've gathered. And some stuff that was pretty tough to make, like this windmill bearing. This is legit. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what the recipe is for this. Hammer, that's no big deal. We got the tool. Cogwheels, kind of expensive. Metal casing, pretty expensive compared to what they used to cost. Treated wood slab. Luckily, we had the coke oven. And you get treated wood by tossing some wooden planks into the creosote and letting it soak for a little while. Not sure how long. Glue, not too hard to get. And then a small brass gear. This one was a bit of a pain. If we look, we need a bunch of brass. And brass isn't one of our normal metals, but I cooked it all up, pounded it all out. Yep, we've got that. And I also made 2 basic millstones. This is going to be the first item I'm really using with Create, and it's to make grinding a little easier. we've got these cairns, I think they're called, Quern, something like that. And they do this. They grind stuff up, but it's very slow and very manual. This is anything but manual, but speed probably won't be too great because, you know, we're building a windmill to power it. And windmills only go so fast. So I'm thinking about putting the windmill, like, I guess, like right here, so it's kind of spinning and cool looking, so when people come in through the gate, they can see it. Should be cool. I should put it on some sort of a structure, actually. So, give me a moment. I'm going to grab some material and see what I can come up with. All right, I made a little bit of material up. We're using shale as a start because it's kind of cool looking. I'm going to add ironwood to it later because it's a very similar color gray. But, yeah, this won't be anything special. We're just going to put like a bit of a pedestal to kind of put the windmill up on, and then give us a little area below to attach the millstones. So what I'm thinking of, first of all, let's just do... Oh, I haven't placed stairs yet. Is that... Okay, cool. Yeah, we got these bounding boxes. You see, if I place it right there, it makes a side. So I got to get used to how to use these new bounding boxes. I've used them on slabs so far, but not these. Anyway, let's go ahead and toss some more in. Let's see... We want to kind of center it. So we're just going to do a little something like that. Now in this mod, a lot of blocks are affected by gravity, as you can see there. It just falls right off. Oh, and I broke my stairs. That's the worst. And because these blocks have gravity, we can't really use stuff like cobblestone in any levels above the base layer unless we have some kind of support supporting it. So you won't see a lot of this textured very high generally. Anyway, let's do a little something like that. Let's take our millstone. Let's go ahead and put one right there. And one right there. We got a gear. Let's put that right there. And that can spin these millstones. And then we'll take our windmill bearing, place it right on top, but that's backwards. And let's try this again. There it worked. It went backwards because I shift clicked it. Been a while since I've used Create. Forgot that was a thing. Anyway, now we've got our wool colors. So we got to build a bit of a windmill. We're going to start with our orange wool. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, let's 3, 6, 7. I don't know how big it needs to be. Let's just go ahead and do one more there, and then we're going to kind of split it off. There we go. We got an uneven T perfectly. Now, not exactly what I wanted. So we're going to take that one away, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now we've got a weird plus sign. And I'm going to use the white to kind of fill in the sides. Like so. And ow! Yep, preemptive ow. I knew it was coming. Well, let's do this down here. And we still got a lot of wool left. This is a small windmill. Not going to work. So let's go ahead and go a little bit bigger. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. It needs to go up top too, though. And I don't have scaffolding or anything like that. So we're going to boom, 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 boom. Yep. One more boom. All right. Let's put that there, that there, that there. I'm getting a little bit of lag today. I don't know what's going on. I think the server might be kind of struggling today. Surely it couldn't be my computer, right? Well, yeah, let's go ahead and do one more up top. Let's break back down. And we'll come off the sides. Actually, we got a lot of extra room here. So let's go like that. Let's get orange and white. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking where this is going. I think this was the play. But that was not. All right. Yeah. And orange and white. There we go. All right, we have a 38 block windmill here. I think that's a little big. But hopefully it still spins all okay. You might have some excess blocks in there that aren't needed, aren't doing anything, but it's all about the looks, right? Now, we can go ahead and right-click this, but we can see this contraption was unable to assemble. And it says it's because there's not enough sail-like blocks or wool, because wool works as a sail-like block. But that's because we haven't glued it yet. Luckily, I prepared some super glue. There it is. So let's take our super glue. I'm going to start with, putting that there. We're going to drag across and hit it right there. So we've got a large portion glued there. Let's go ahead, build up again. That should be good. Now let's grab our glue, drag it to there, and we've got almost all of it connected. But there's a few extra spots, like these corners. We'll bring them in. I measured that one wrong. So go ahead and left-click that one. Now we grab it from there. And bring it down to the right spot. There we go. I did it right this time. And boom. Boom, boom. And there we go. The windmill is glued together. Okay, but if my old Create knowledge is still correct, when I right-click this, it'll start spinning. Ooh. Did it just jump to nighttime? No one else is on. Did that just change the day cycle? It wasn't dark, right? What just happened? Okay, well, we got a windmill. Kind of want to click it again. Oh, it was just lit up, huh? Was it already night and I'm a fool? Probably. Anyway, though, we do have power. We can take a look and see. It's giving out 512 stress units. That's pretty solid for a windmill. I want to test it out by grinding something, and I've got this chest here of all these fancy gems that I found in a little bit of a mine underneath my base here. I figured let's go ahead and grind some of this up. I got a lot of this yellow garnet. Let's see what happens to it. I can just toss it in, throw it. Let's throw some more. Let's throw it all. It doesn't want it all? Yeah, there we go. It's on there. If you look up at the top, basic millstone, 15x rich raw yellow garnet. We've already got 16 crushed yellow garnet. 24. This is going fast, and I'm getting a lot. Wow, this is way better than the cairn. I mean, it's automatic, so obviously it's way better, but this is way better. Anyway, maybe I could do a little more decoration. I mean, this is really nothing special. Do a little... Let's put a little stair right there. Block the windmill from this side. And then let's just do... Nope, no vertical slabs. But how cool is that? We got vertical slabs. Anyway, bam, bam. Okay, it's got a little bit of protection. We come around to this side. It kind of looks like... Actually, let's just free cam out. Yep, it's got a base. The base has a base to the windmill. Perfect. And let's see how this is going. It's almost done with that full... Oh, 64. I bet that's all it can hold. We get an empty slot, and boom, right click, and yep, it's going again. And I just got a ton of crushed yellow garnet. I want to try something. We've got a hammer, and when you get ores like metals and stuff, you can take it and put it... Once you have it crushed, you can put it in a crafting table, and yep, there we go. We can get a full pile of impure yellow garnet. The millstone's just about done with the rest of this garnet. Let's let it finish up. Oh, wow, 2 full stacks plus. That's crazy. Okay, let's get some more. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to take this, and first of all, if I throw it on the ground, you can see at the top, not a lot of info. Okay, that doesn't work quite like the ore does. Maybe it's because it's gray tech. But normally it would say something like 74 millibuckets of whatever. And then you do this to it, because if we look, this is called impure pile, right? Well, we got to purify it. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to throw a stack into this little water source. Zoom in and we can see it's sparking, and plop, plop. It vanished. Is it underground? Oh gosh, there it is. Okay, I got it back. And if we take a look, it's now yellow garnet dust. And throw it on the ground, and you can still see nothing's changed, but that's got some crazy chemical symbols. Look at all that. Anyway, this pure dust here provides a lot more of whatever product it is than the impure dust or any version before impure dust. So you want to do this if you want to practically double your output, which is pretty nice. So let's go ahead and throw the rest in, let it turn, and there we go. Easy peasy. 45 easy steps to get yourself a little extra material. I haven't mentioned this. This is a little aqueduct I threw in just so I can get some water out here. This water is drinkable. As we can see, I can drink it. It's regular water and I'm not getting sick from seawater. And this comes in from over here. I had to bring this water in from the closest fresh water supply I could find near my base. And this is it. And how ugly is this? I made a cool little aqueduct waterfall. I mean, that's awesome, right? But if we look back here, it goes into this cave and into some water I found back there. Yep, it's dark. Yep, it's this floating channel, aqueduct channel. Luckily, this isn't affected by gravity, but it's also not affected by good looks either at the moment. So I will be eventually encapsulating this in some kind of cooler looking aqueduct with pillars going down to making it look like it's actually supported. You know how that goes. Right now, we're not working on that. We've got ourselves a windmill. I'm going to grind a whole bunch of stuff down and brag to everybody that I've got Create power. Look at that thing. It's all orange and actually kind of weird looking. Is it ugly, guys? It's totally ugly. I feel like I got to get rid of that top orange block. Just kind of even things out because there's no orange blocks pointing out the side and they don't need it. Let me fix that. That's going to bug me. I mean, I know it doesn't look great as it is, and it's not going to improve it a whole lot, but we don't have a whole lot of material here. Not a lot to work with, so, you know, you work with what you got. These things will get better looking as we go. Alright, let's get it going again, and still has 512 stress units because that block wasn't doing anything. Now it's sort of a circle. Kind of would like it to be taller looking, but yeah, it's fine. It's great. Kind of liking the windmill there like that. Once I get some more stuff up there, like I got to put my forge in there and that's going to be awesome. But that's going to come hopefully next episode. But this whole area that's part of my junkyard looked like this originally. It had tons of trees in there and I've been chopping them all down. There's wood piles all over. Like all of this is wood piles full of wood. And it covers the ground, and yeah, it's all over. But I also got this little wood pile right here, and I'm just going to grab some of it. And you can see I'm kind of playing with the depth here. This one's set back a block, so is this one. This one's turned. So I'm thinking right here, I'm going to move it up a block. So what I mean by that is we're going to go there, 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 and there. And let's go ahead and build it up. And grab our last stack. We don't have a whole lot of this on us right now. I try to give it some kind of like pointed top like this as much as you can with the scale we're working on here. And a little bit of that, and yeah, that'll be fine. And I like to take an axe and get rid of the top layer, kind of like it's stripped a little bit of the bark. Let's get that. Let's get that. Hop on down. Ow! And let's do a little of that. Looking good. Sometimes I'll strip some other areas like that, but they don't all need it. We need a lot of variation in here. Okay, we've got a lot of these black oak logs on us. So for this one, I'm going to do the 5 block post. This is only the second one of these posts I've done so far. But variation is good. I want these to be a little rarer, but still be there so it can be like, oh, this one's different too in a different way, right? Yay. Anyway, we're still going. Boom. That's a little better. Let's get that up. And kind of liking that. That'll work. Let's strip it a little bit. Yeah. Looking good. Go a little bit further down with that one. Yeah, I think that'll work. Ow! All right. Nice. We got a big diagonal post here. Let's maybe give it a little stripping. Give it a little character. This big log was beat up a little bit in placement, and it lost some bark. We're going to go back to a 2x2 and just go right there, and let's build it up. Ooh, I got this one pine wood. Gonna toss it in there. All right. All right, that one's looking nice. Let's go ahead and give it a little stripping. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. That was a nice, easy post. And now we've got a bit of a problem here. I don't have any dirt on me. That's the problem. Got a couple pieces of loam dirt because there's no real dirt anymore. And not liking that corner. I'll fix that later, though. Let's go ahead and take some black wood now. And I'm going to set it back one more to add some depth. And let's build it up. I've got a good amount of this black wood on me, so I'm going to build it a little taller. There we go, basic shape. A little extra. There we go. Ow. Okay. All right, looking good. I'm liking it. I'm not liking this, though. So later came sooner than expected. A little of that. A little of that. That should be fine. All right, now we got to clear off a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the rest of these wood piles. We got a little bit of a drop down here, so I'm going to go ahead and drop down and back one, keep that depth layer going. And yeah, this one is really short. It'll work though. Variation is cool. Let's strip down a little bit. Let's strip a little more on this one, so it's like there's hardly any bark left. I like it. Like it, yeah. And that's kind of what we're going for. I definitely need to go find some more log types, though, to get more variation in here. Like this ironwood. Love that stuff. But you'll see we continue it along this path here. Along. Something will happen here. Not sure what yet, but something. And it'll go all the way up here. Once we get here, not sure what I'm going to do, but if we go ahead and take a bigger look, there's the aqueduct, there's my platform, there's the wall, and I'm that light source that I can't be seen in. Well, this is the junkyard, and all of this, all the way back to what's ocean back there, is mine. So it can be a pretty big junkyard. It's just junk is going to be hard to obtain this season because everything's so expensive, but I'm working on it. And, you know, it'll be a good long season. We're still early, so hopefully I fill it up. Anyway, I'm going to go cut down more trees of a different type, which means I probably got to go elsewhere in the world because it's like regions and temperatures and seasons and how much wind's blowing. So we'll get back to that later. But I'm so happy to have the windmill.